Right, hello all. Thought I'd make a video about eBay's diabolical policies when it comes to sellers. Because, or maybe I should say the diabolically biased policies when it comes to buyers, depending on how you want to look at it. Because that's exactly what they are. Now, I will say now, while I'm telling this story, I'll apologise in advance, because whilst I'll try and keep the swearing to an absolute minimum, because it is something I'm trying to give up as a Christian anyway, quite honestly, this really does make me so very, very angry. Because of the way it is so biased. Now, when you sell on eBay, as you might have heard from other YouTube videos, but there seems to be very few from the UK, which is why I thought I'd make this one. When you sell on eBay, you know, you do it to hopefully try and get a little bit of extra money in, whether it's to, you know, pay bills, whether it's to, you know, possibly get one or two little luxuries in life. You know, you do not sell on eBay to basically get fucked around by a system that is so open to abuse, that is just so biased in the buyer's favour, and that the people running it, i.e. eBay, just seem to want to do absolutely sweet Fanny Adams about. Well, when you're paying them 10% of whatever you make, quite honestly, I think they're just criminally wrong myself. Because, you know, I, for one, do not pay out that 10% to get screwed over by twits and abusers of a biased system. You know, I pay out that 10% for a platform that lets me hopefully get some nice quick sales and get me some extra income. Now, I'll mention now, if there's any funny things going on in the video side, and you're wondering what's going on here, it's because I'm actually totally blind. So, whilst I can make the audio fine, the video side might not exactly be the best in the world. Now, being totally blind, quite honestly, getting normal, regular employment is fucking difficult. And that's putting it mildly. So, quite honestly, the only way I've found to make, you know, a bit of extra income, to, you know, make a bit of extra money so that I can have a halfway decent standard of living, which surely is not too much to ask, is to buy and sell on eBay, or sell on eBay mainly, electronic goods mainly, because I know quite a bit about them, and, you know, I've got a bit of a, you know, well, what do you call it? I've got a bit of a knack at getting them at a decent price and hopefully selling them on at a profit. But what I really fucking hate about eBay is these idiot buyers that you get, that even when you say you don't do returns, are, you know, eBay permits to abuse their system by making up faults that do not exist, and then being able to return the item to you, not only for what they paid out for it, but you have to pay for their return postage if you freaking well please, which I certainly do not please. You know, quite honestly, I think you should be able to opt out of a system like that, but you bloody can't. Now, the main reason I'm especially angry is because I've had no less than 4 incidents this year. One was over a system that got damaged in transit. The scumbag buyer on that tried to make out it wasn't packaged properly, which it definitely was. Then refused to provide what I needed to make the insurance claim. Even after refusing to help and provide what I needed to make the insurance claim, those eBay bastards still let him have his bloody money back. Fortunately, I did manage to claim the money back from the insurance. So on that score, it wasn't too bad. But the point is that he was completely uncooperative, and those eBay bastards still give him his bloody money back, which I think is wrong. Second incident was with a hi-fi system that was sold as with faults. Now, if you buy something as with faults, you don't expect it to work properly if it's listed with faults. At least that's what most people would expect, wouldn't they? Not the Burke who bought this system. Moans because it's not working properly. And just because it was listed as used, even though the description said with faults, rather than being as listed for parts or not working, surprise, surprise, those eBay bastards give that scumbag their bloody money back as well. Another incident. Oop, sorry, that was the voiceover on my iPhone. Another incident was with a system that was working perfectly. Now, personally, I think the buyer just wanted to either play a couple of records or put a couple of records on tape, or just didn't like the item. But said after a while of having the system, a good week, 2 weeks, that there was a fault with the turntable, which I knew full damn well there wasn't, as I'd tested it previously. And, well, of course, end result, those eBay bastards give that scumbag their money back as well. And surprise, surprise, when the system gets returned, the turntable is working absolutely fine. But there just doesn't seem to be a way that you can, get any comeback with these eBay people. They just don't want to know about sellers at all. Final incident, and this is the one that is really seriously pissing me off at the moment, is over a buyer, and I will name them. It's Primitive Knot. That's PRIMITIVEKNOT. If you're listening, you are a scumbag. Basically, this particular wanker bought a high-speed cassette copy off of me about 2 weeks ago. It was delivered on the next day, so it went off on a Monday, and so it would have arrived on the Tuesday. Now, on the Sunday before it got sent off, I made sure I thoroughly tested it because it was a rather vintage item. And all the decks were working fine, and the recordings I made on it were fine, and I still have those recordings. Now, 2 weeks after the buyer has got it, which again I reckon that they've used it for whatever they wanted to use it for, but knowing that I don't do returns, are abusing this eBay system, I've found a couple of faults with it. Apparently one of the decks isn't recording properly, which is bollocks, and the recordings it's making are no good at all, which is also bollocks. Now this copier went for it went for 410 quid basically. Now for myself, that is a serious income boost, and at the time it was seriously needed as an income boost, because I had a few unforeseen expenses that I had to pay out for, so that income was very welcome. But of course, that money comes in, it's gone. I have not got that sort of readies to pay some scumbag who has decided that after 2 weeks of using the item, or a good week and a half of using the item, they no longer want it. But knowing that I don't do returns, rather than bothering his arse to resell it himself, is now trying to foist it back onto me. And with eBay's biased and open to abuse system, that scumbag will probably get his bloody way. Well, personally, I think that is completely wrong. So, yeah, quite honestly, I'll tell you this for nothing. If it wasn't for the fact that I need eBay to get extra income, I'd tell them where they could shove it. because I absolutely detest eBay it is the pits. I detest it to the core. It is the absolute pits. If it wasn't for the, good results that I get and that I need to, get some extra income, I would seriously tell them, shove it up your arse. Because I absolutely bloody hate them.
Viewfinder. Focus unlocked. 10 minutes, 21 seconds. Viewfinder. Stop recording video.